Hey everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you all are okay. I'm back with a new video, and well, I like divine intervention. Let me put it like that. Um, I haven't been really active. Well, I've been really active on Instagram, but for the rest, I've not been really active. I don't think I need to tell you all what's happening in the world, what's happening in Palestine. And why I bring that up now is because for me, my spirituality and my activism, they go hand in hand. There isn't one without the other. I have a very ancestral based practice, and that's not only in divination. Um, that's in other parts as well. One of them, again, my fight against racism. Yeah, my fight against the apartheid system. We have seen it in South Africa. We've seen it in different places around the world, but one of them is definitely Palestine. And I will continue to call it Palestine. Um, Over the last week, in all honesty, I find it, it's very selfish of me to say it, to think it. I have a real problem then with myself, um, because I haven't been able to find any kind of, well, joy, What I've been seeing, what I've been hearing, I've been in conversation with a lot of Palestinians, whether it's outside of Gaza or in Gaza. Um, and again, I cannot seem to find my joy. My divination practice almost was in a standstill. My conversation with spirit is now without the cards. um, However, in the beginning of October, before this all started, let me get back to this. Um, the lovely Liz from West Star Tarot did, yeah, in the end of October or September, right? She did that culling where she went like in her collection and she was really ruthless, right? Like, I don't use it, it needs to go. I loved it, because I'm really, really the same. I'm not really thinking too much. I don't use you, you gotta go. So I enjoyed her series of decluttering very much. And then she held up this deck, and I was like, "Oh, she's never gonna get rid of that one, right? Because this is what I've been looking for." I'm so out of touch because I find these decks, yeah, when they're already out of print. So this one was on my radar after it was out of print, and I knew, yeah, I was not gonna get it. I of course kept my eye on it, but prices, if they were selling it, yeah, were insane. Um, so the moment she held it up, yeah, I was like, oh no, she ain't gonna sell that one, right? And she was like, well, I'm not really using it. Okay, I let it go. And I don't think, yeah, I've ever been this annoying with somebody. I hope she forgives me. I think she does. But I think in multiple videos, even where she was not talking about this deck, I was like, I still want the land back, tarot. And she was so, so kind, yeah. Anyway, it arrived here 2 days ago. And that was in the middle of my slum, right? Like I said, I didn't really feel like, doing videos or whatever. And then this deck came. And normally I have, well, okay, it's not, okay, everything that you repeat is technically a ritual, right? I don't really see it as a ritual, but I think we all have our things, how we approach a new deck, and that kind of went out the window because this deck could not have come in a better timing than it did. This is the only deck in this moment, that I could actually connect to. That whatever was happening, whatever I was seeing on social media or people were telling me, I could actually see in the cards. And I wanted to do directly a video, but again, I'm still, but um, I was not really in the mood. And I'm really trying to get my spirits up here to do this walkthrough because it deserves all the attention it can get. And of course, like I said, it's a little bit of a double-sided sword because I know it's out of print. However, she's also Again, I found out too late, but okay. No, I didn't find out too late. I think Kim from Abundant Life Tarot, she made a mention, and I did a quick look through, and I didn't know, and budget-wise, I could not even do it in that moment. So the thing is, I hope her new Marseille will come out, because the more I look at it, the more I want it. Especially after seeing this deck. Anyway, long story short, like I said, I haven't been doing this a while. My mind is all over the place. I hope you forgive me. So even though it might now be out of print, you never know. She might reprint it again, or a second edition, or whatever. Because this deck is worth it. I cannot call it a review yet, even though I've been playing with it for 2 days, but in a very targeted way, in the sense of, like I said, where my mind is, you know? I wanted to do the walkthrough anyway, because it's such an important deck in a very definitive time, in the now. It was already an important deck when it came out. I think it will always be an important deck. But like I said, in the timing it came, yeah, something happened there, right? So for me, it are not first impressions, yet it's also not a review. But I want to go through the cards with you all. I know there are probably other reviews out there. But again, this one was the only one that sparked any kind of creativity or drive in me in this moment to make a video. I hope it catches a little bit on so I can continue to make videos. I actually have some good news about my own deck, and again, I could not find the joy, so I didn't do it yet. Anyway, let's talk about this one. I've read the guidebook, except the parts about the cards itself, because I want to see what I see, and then I want to go into the book to see what she is telling me. I know I will end up doing that anyway, but I want that first impression to be my impression, and then let her add, you know, all the important parts, why she's mentioning what she's mentioning. Do that make sense? Okay. So I put them in order again, because like I said, for me, this was very different. Normally, I will keep them in order, and I will go through the whole deck. Then I will separate them in their suits and majors, and then the suits. And then I will go through them. And like I said, this didn't happen. I went through them a couple of times in order, and then I shuffled them, because again, it was... I don't even know how to talk anymore. Let me put this aside, because we don't have much space, because I zoomed in. Okay, I will go through them, and well, I will talk about what I want to talk about. Again, these are not really first impressions, but it cannot be a review yet, because like I said, I only have them for 2 days. So there is a major arcana, then there are the suits, and then it's called the Oracle of Colonization. But in her book, she also mentions, you can see it as kind of a shadow arcana, you know, to the major arcana, which I found very interesting. When this was on my way, I was like, okay, the Oracle, maybe I will put that separate, because again, I didn't read the book, right? Maybe I put that separate, and I will work with it with another deck. And again, after getting it, reading the book, I'm keeping it in. I want that shadow aspect of that arcana to be in this deck. There's no... It just belongs in this deck. Let me put it like that. Okay, let's go through them. We have here the Fool. So it's about stepping into... Well, how did she put it? I don't want to move the book, because it's in the screen kind of parameters. So let's see. This is your first step in the Fool's journey. One you take off a cliff into the mystical waters of your journey through life. And again, she goes further, but I kind of like that, you know. Here we have the Elder instead of, because a lot of the majors are relabeled, because again, it's about land back, right? Land back tarot. It's about looking through this through the tarot in a colonization way. See, I'm all over the place. Let me read what she says here. The Landback Tarot and the Oracle of Colonization is indigenous, brown, and gender neutral. This deck presents classic RWS understandings from a radical decolonial perspective, looking towards indigenous futures of anatomy, freedom, and land back. The Fool's Journey is decolonial, laying out realities and lies for marginalized and colonized readers and querents. The Oracle of Colonizations looks at the shadows, adding that extra needed healing for living under colonialism. Together, this deck is for everyone looking for an anti-colonial decentering of realities. So it's really a different kind of look at all these archetypes, right? Again, I absolutely love it. I still have a lot to learn because let me be clear and honest. I know, how would you say that? About the Native Americans or the Native Canadians, right? I know the overall story, you know what I mean? But I don't know too much of those details. While I can bring this back to African parts, and like I said, even Palestinian parts right now, I'm learning a lot. One of the great things, if you want to dive deeper into some parts of the card she gives you on her website, yeah, some extra information about this, and she mentioned it multiple times in the book, you know, where to go to, what to see, and I'm definitely planning on doing that. I think it's a very important thing, and I love to learn. This is a part, like I said, the Native Americas, let me call it Americas. I don't know every detail about. You know, I'm in Europe. We get the highlights, so to speak. You know what I mean? And you hear the horror stories, but that deep dive into that, yeah, that's a different thing. Because whether it's all colonization and whether it's all the same thing about land being stolen, still all these cultures have their own horror stories to tell, have their own have their own history, you know. Just because I know about this or I know about that, that doesn't make it the same as, well, in this case, the Native Americans. So again, I still have a lot to learn when it comes to that. I just think this is such an important deck. And I'm so happy, again, thank you, Miss Liz, you know, she was so kind to me and everything came perfectly. So again, I'm just very happy. Let's continue the walkthrough. As you see, I'm really out of sorts. So this is the Elder, the Healer. I really like this for the High Priestess, because for me, like, the High Priestess is a title, while the Healer might actually be what she truly is. You know what I mean? I mean, me, I can be a mother, and, well, I'm not, but I could be a wife, and these are all titles, but what am I truly? You know what I mean? Okay. So I really like that. Today's Future, love that for the Empress. And the Emperor, Yesterday's Foundation. The Hierophant, yeah, Charlatan, yes. Yeah, you definitely need to look at this with other eyes, with a different perspective, right? I love the Lovers. The Lovers is my birth card, you know. I love everything about this card. Chariot. Strength. This was one of the cards that hit me directly in this moment, you know what I mean? Because I've seen some pictures of the deck, but for me, the subject, the theme, the way it was made, this was the important part of the deck, why I wanted it. Yeah, this Strength. Storyteller instead of the Hermit. Okay, my cat is doing weird. Are you okay? Okay, they're not answering. They're okay. So the Hermit is my card of the year. And I've been really tapping into that in this year, 2023. And I love in these last months, you know, the darker months, yeah, to really tap into it from this perspective. When I went through it, I could directly understand some of the changes. Like I said, healer, elder even, you know. Today's future, yesterday's foundation, charlatan. All of these I could directly hit. And then storyteller came and I was like, oh, how would I put that? And when I read the book, this book is amazing. After I read the book, I could place it. And yeah, again, I really look forward to these last couple of months really looking at it from this perspective. So the wheel is mirror. Again, beautiful explanation in the guidebook. I really, really like it. Justice. I like the question mark there. It's very yeah, it's perfect. You see people protesting here, and you see a gun being pointed. Again, it already was hitting, and then when you get a deck like this in a time like this, yeah, something is going on. That time instead of the hanged one, she talked about time being suspended, kind of, you know, when you're kind of in jail or at arrest. How did she say it? Let me check, yeah. That time is an accused awaiting their day in court without bail. At this stage, there is nothing physically more to do but wait. Yeah. And again, she goes into it, of course, but yeah, I again, that perspective, you know, I really love that. Death. What is there to say? That's beautiful. This was really sad. Temperance. I knew this from the Aboriginals. I didn't know this from the Native Americans. I mean, in all honesty, I should have, right? I mean, it's almost like a logic. Their playbook, this playbook of this of the colonial white people, right? Didn't change. It just gets new names. Yeah, it didn't change. So yeah, temperance. Okay, with this one I kind of laughed. I could not help it. He has him in that chokehold, you know. And his arms, yeah, are just as big as his face. So, yeah, well. We gotta fight that devil, right? Yeah. And it reminded me of a part of Bob Marley's lyrics that says, give us the teachings of His Majesty. We don't want no devil philosophy. I really like that. The Tower. Yeah, very... Again, it's just so on point. Shooting Star. It's one of the cards that actually really makes me smile. It almost gives me that hope, you know. I didn't read this one yet. Like I said, I still need a lot of work. While it are not first impressions, I'm still really diving into this deck, you know. Grandmother Moon. I love that. Grandfather Son. Judgment. Yeah, I've seen a picture kind of like this, you know, and I understood that immediately, you know. The silencing of. They do that a lot to us. I'm still in a fight, yeah, with Meta on Facebook and Instagram. Every time, even with Aunty K, I thanked her because on her post she clearly, you know, was also taking no shit. Let me put it like that. And I thanked her because it was, well, it was the only one in my timeline. Let me put it like this, you know, that put something out there when this all started, and um, I thanked her, and even Instagram tried to stop me, block that comment. Me just thanking her. And again, ever since, yeah, it didn't stop. I need to repost videos. I need to repost posts. I need to repost comments or put those comments in a chat message because, again, you know, Instagram and Facebook are on a tantrum, you know, to stop people coming together and sharing those same views. So it's a different way, right? But in this moment, right? This is what I kind of felt when I saw this picture. And again, of course, it's much bigger, right? I mean, they're trying to silence a whole population. But again, let's continue with the deck. Mother Earth, really love this. It's beautiful. I love how we have here the elements in the corners. And then we go into arrows. Arrows are fire. So the wand suit. Ace of arrows. And I need to be honest, because I read very elemental and numerological, I need to go in the book sometimes to see how she took that original RWS meaning and put that in her own view, or yeah, that decolonization view, right? But again, it's totally worth it. I just see that I need to again adjust myself, you know. Three of arrows, four of arrows. I love the colors in this deck. Five of arrows. Yeah, this one too. Six of arrows. I've seen this happen in real life just this week. Seven of arrows. Eight of arrows. Nine of arrows. 10 of arrows. And then page, knight, queen, king. Hers are scout, warrior, uncle, auntie. And I think she flipped the king and the queen around, you know. I didn't find why, in all honesty. Maybe I missed something because, again, I still need to, well, do a lot of work with this deck. But yeah, see, she goes from scout, warrior, uncle, auntie. Yeah, which again I like. Scout, warrior, uncle, and then we see auntie. Then we go into cups. Cups, teacups, so water. Here we have the ace. I love this too. Three of cups. Four of cups. Five of cups. Six of cups. Seven of cups. Eight of cups. Nine of cups. They're beautiful, really. 10 of cups. Scout of cups. Again, very familiar view, picture. Warrior of cups. Uncle of cups. Yeah, uncle of cups. Oh, my cat. He has the zoomies. Auntie of cups. Then we go into weapons. Weapons or swords. So the air suit. This one is so on point, and I cannot say, I want to say I love it, and then at the same time, the subject, you cannot really say I love it. You know what I mean? But I think she did such an amazing job. 2 of weapons. I like this one. 3 of weapons. Yeah, our hearts are in a lot of pain. 4 of weapons. You see the lasers pointing from guns. You don't see the guns, but you know they're guns. 5 of weapons. 6 of weapons. 7 of weapons. 8 of weapons. Look at that one. 9 of weapons. And 10 of weapons. Yeah. Then we have the Scout of weapons. The Warrior of weapons. The Uncle of weapons. And Aunty of weapons. And yeah, like I said, I remember this one. See, just so that I can show. Wait. Yeah, in here, okay, let me try that. I'm still in the picture. So you see the photograph on which or by which she was inspired. Yeah. And then again, she talks about the video clip of this event. Yeah, she gives her website, and you can really find a lot of information there, if you want to dive deeper. And like I said, that is really something I plan on doing. Am I still on the screen? I don't know. That is really something I want to do, because again, there's well, let's just say it how it is. I don't know too much about all these stories, right? I know that foundational story. You hear some horror stories, but I really want to know where she got her inspiration from, and I want to know more. Like I always said, for me, history is very important. I talk about African history, but of course, African countries are not the only one being colonized. So yeah, this is definitely something I want to dive into. Okay, let's go to drums. Drums are pentacles, or well, earth. And in my deck, I have my cups as drums. So I needed to make, no. It's something else. So that's the ace. I really like that. Here we have the 2. 3 of drums. 4 of drums. 5 of drums. 6 of drums. 7 of drums. 8 of drums. I really like this one. Love the colors. They actually cheer me up. 9 of drums. And then 10 of drums. And then again we go to Scout of drums. Warrior of drums. Uncle of drums. And now we have here Aunty of drums. And this card has been popping up every time. It's not even in pulls. It's every time I shuffle and I turn the deck, poof, there she is. So I'm also planning on doing some work with her, because apparently she got stuff to tell me. And then we go into the Shadow Arcana. Okay, let me put this away. Or the Oracle of Colonization, depending on how you want to use it. Like I said, I would love to use it as a Shadow Arcana. I have been shuffling it in. So yeah, whatever somebody pleases, right? I love the keywords. Yeah. We have 2 zeros. One at the beginning and one at the end. The end is spirits, which I understand. I understand, but not but. I just understand. So the first one, or well, number 0, is entitlement. Here we have triggered. Privilege. Yes. Soul wound. Appeasing. Polite. Righteous rage. That is kind of the emotion I've had for, well, almost 2 weeks right now. Ugly cry. Resting bitch face. Entangled. Yes, sorry guys. I got 2 little males, and there are times, yeah, that they are the best friends and brothers, and then there are times they hate each other's guts. Okay, let's continue. Red pass. This is the only one, so I don't mind. That's like horizontal. Rise up. I like that. Know your enemy. House of oppression. Oi. I love this one. Land of ancestors. Systemic. Internalize. Lateral. Sexualite. Identity and gender. Whole self. Healing. And then we come to spirits. So, yes. I think this, like I said, this was already a deck that was on my, well, unicorn wish list. And I think I've mentioned it before. I've been incredibly lucky in the last couple of months. By getting some of my unicorn decks. This is, like I said, when Miss Liz, you know, was decluttering and she put this one up, I was like, oh, I cannot be that lucky. It's not gonna happen, right? She is not gonna be selling this. She did. It's a beautiful linen cardstock. Like, yeah, because we have like 23 extra cards, we're almost like, we're in the 100, right? Yeah, we're in the hundreds. So I'm still fighting a little bit, but once I have them mixed, I can just overhand shuffle, you know. Yes. So yeah, like I said, I've been incredibly lucky, and the fact that this one came in my life, I was so happy. And yeah, like I said, I think I've mentioned this before. I'm a firm believer of, if something is meant to be, it will happen, you know. If something is meant for me, it will come into my life. Even though in that moment, don't get me wrong, because I don't got a lot of patience, and then there are moments I have endless patience. When it comes to certain decks, of course, I wish I want them, and then I want them now, and I wish I could have them now. And then there's a part of me that knows, you know, they will come into my life when it's the right time. And I don't think I ever had a deck quite as spectacular in timing as this one. So yes, I was thinking about, yeah, should I do a real walkthrough, because again it's out of print. But yeah, like I said, it's, in all honesty, one of the only ones that really gave me some kind of joy here, you know. So I didn't want to rob myself of that joy. I mean, are they not beautiful? Mm-hmm. I think they're amazing. I really love them. Yeah, I'm piling because I want to stay in view. Am I? I think I'm still a little bit. um. So yes, like I said, I still have a lot of work to do with this one, because I don't think this is a deck you just shuffle and work with like an RWS, or try to um make it work for you. I think you need to work with it the way it is meant to be, you know. Um, so yeah, again, it was one on my unicorn wish list. Not thinking I would get it. I was really hoping she would do a second edition maybe, or a reprint, you know, and then I would pounce on it. um, but she made a beautiful Marseille. Budget wise, I was not ready, you know. Um, but it is one that I will definitely keep my eye on, and I hope I can get it when it's out. But for now, like I said, this was the one that really caught my eye. Yeah. And again, it came at such a an amazing timing. It's hard to ignore that. Okay, it's gonna, like I said, I knew it was gonna be a kind of rambly walkthrough, because, well, my mind is all over the place. Um, I know I haven't been in the right mindset, but I still wanted to do this kind of walkthrough, right? Again, it's not really first impressions. It's also not a review. So forgive me for that one. If you missed this deck, like I missed this deck, you know, keep your eye out on maybe a secondhand copy like I did, because mine was perfect, in perfect condition. Or, well, again, keep an eye on NTK's YouTube. I will link her channel in the description. Who knows? She might. You never know. She might. And yeah, if not, like I said, keep your eye out for maybe a secondhand copy. I think this is a deck worthwhile. And for all the people who love this deck and don't have this deck, I truly wish she might in the future, you know, do a reprinting of it. Anyway, I want to thank you. I got nothing more to say. I need time with the deck itself. And again, please forgive me for my rambly thoughts. I have been all over the place the last couple of days. Okay, you know what to do. Stay kind, stay blessed. Or here we go again. Stay kind and be blessed. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.